How many of us would be prepared to give up 26 years of service to help uplift our community, to protect those most vulnerable, because it has to be done, and because our spirit demands it? I'm in Mitchell's Plain to meet Marylin Saul. She's a warm, passionate and beautifully humble soul. A police person for over 2 decades who leapt into an even bigger and deeper calling.
Marylin!
Hi, that's me, Marylin Saul. Nice to see you.
Hi. The dreadlock lady. You go ahead. Did you always want to be a cop?
No, no, no. When I was young, I wanted to be a social worker to help people. But after that, you know, the abuse in the house when I was a child, and I started to think I'd rather go for a cop when it was not that time. I have a stepfather, beaten up my mother. Then we must run around and go and hide and things like that.
Did you want to join the police because you wanted to protect your mother?
Yeah, it's like, if you're gonna hit my mother again, then I'm there also to lock you up, but not only for her, but also for the community. And so I become a policewoman.
Give us a sense of your work in the police force.
I was in PAL, first by the uniform, and after that I applied by the detectives. I was the first detective lady, the brown-colored lady in PAL. You know, the community that time, when you was one of the coloreds who was in the police for the first time, jy het baie aansien gekry because it was not easy for us to come in the force like nowadays. The new generation, the new South Africa. Crime scenes, jumping over the walls and all that kind of stuff. It was very interesting. From 1987, I came to Mitchell's Plain. You know, from the Plaas to the Cape Town, it was not easy to fit in here in Cape Town.
In her own home, Marylin had witnessed abuse, and coming to Cape Town to be a cop was a way of escaping and starting her own life, a way forward and up. But when she arrived here, she saw similar problems, now even more pronounced. The sheer number of people, the cumulative impact of poverty and lack of opportunity. She felt the pain of the vulnerable and realized that there was a huge gap in caring for and protecting domestic workers who'd been brought by labour brokers to the city or who'd even come of their own accord. They'd become victims of labour trafficking and maltreatment by their employers.
Since the beginning when I came here to the station, Marylin was here. She was a detective at that time. She was actually a role model. If we didn't know anything, then we can always approach her and ask her, and she was always willing and able to help us. She had a passion for the community and for people out there. When it comes to domestic workers not having a place to stay anymore, the people put them out, and she will take them home. She will take them and keep them there until she gets another job or until she can find money to send them back home. And that was just her. She used to do that all the time, helping other people without getting any money for it.
The line between Marylin's professional and personal life became blurred. Her police uniform not distancing her, but drawing her closer to others' pain.
Athlone is well known of the domestics who was abused and, hoe kan ek sê, geëxploit, slavernij. Sometimes when I did drive past from work, then I always say how this girl's standing. Like it's the slavery, you come and you pick for you a girl, you know, to come and work for you. I will always help them and things like that. And from that time it started. Something was dropped in my spirit.
different were you to the other cops, your colleagues?
Me, I was like, I always wanted to see that people's needs are met. When I was busy with my dockets and stuff, when I look up, then I see there's somebody by my door. And it's again one of them I did help, then I leave my dockets and then I will help them getting in the police car and go and help them get their money and get their stuff and take them wherever, let them go on the train, go home, and when it was after 4, waiting that all are gone and they're dirty and then I let them wash them in the toilets also.
Marylin, in those days you were a detective doing this work beyond the call of duty. What was the impact at work?
I was feel like an outcast. But I didn't give up. I did go on and I go on. My superior called me in and I say, yeah, I appreciate what you do. It's right, Marylin, but it's not your job. And for me it was, in the police you then say, we serve, we are here to serve. So I serve, no matter if it's not on my profile or on my duty list, I help the people.
During her time at Athlone Police Station, it became clear to many around her that Marylin's work was not a job, but a calling. Her spirit and efforts to help domestic workers inspired younger colleagues, one of whom, Beverly Pelston, became a close friend and still is to this day.
What was she like when you first came across her?
Marylin, like I said, she's a very spontaneous person. Marylin loves to work with people and she has got that compassion, not only for the community, even with the colleagues that she used to work with. And her desire is, Marylin's desire is to work with the community to help, especially the girls that comes from upcountry. That is her passion that she has.
It's quite something when you think of a police person who's doing all that. She's seeing it all the time and she's helping so many people. I wonder where she got the gears to do this.
That is how Marylin is. She does not just look at the person from the outside. And that is something that God has birthed within her, that compassion for people.
I remember that was in 2006, yeah. I feel like I was lost in the police dockets and it was like a feeling I don't belong here. How can I explain? It's like, yes, nothing for me.
Marylin, what was your leap of faith?
My leap of faith was just to go that day and just do what I must go into, to resign, no matter what I leave, what I gonna lose, to help people.